It's just me. Hey, there's Jeff.
What's up?
You're still in vacation mode, I see.
Yeah. Now this is my authentic custom-made Kenyan attire.
Oh.
Wear it this morning.
You got it from Africa.
Yeah.
What's it? Okay, Kenyan attire. I like it. Custom made.
Custom-made. It fits good.
So if you want to see how Jeff looks full body in it, you have to show up later on.
Yeah. There are no Kenyan pants. I've got to Americanize my bottom half, but
hopefully the shirts go longer than if there's no pants.
Yeah, there is. Let's just say I'm dressed for Texas weather.
Gotcha. There's Jimmy.
Hey,
Jimmy?
yeah. Tanya was being a legalist. I had saved this morning's sermon notes in Presenter, but that doesn't translate. So I thought I had sent them over in PowerPoint. So I'm double dipping here. So, but anyway,
Jimmy's already in vacation mode. He's already elsewhere.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
My vacation and his vacation is going to be a lot different.
Yeah, someone asked me how I was going to enjoy my sabbatical.
Yeah.
It's a pretty short sabbatical.
Yeah, you take what you can get, right?
There might be more prescription drugs on your vacation, hopefully, than was on Jeff's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there was.
When did you get home?
Last night.
You get home at a decent time, or you were rolling
it was like 5 or so, I think, something like that. 5 or 6.
That's not bad.
So, yeah, no, it was good.
Did you just go straight to bed, or you just wiped out, or did you stay up a bit?
No, we typical go-getter Melinda fashion. I think she did a couple loads of laundry and we put everything away. And
so that's a smart way to do it.
Yeah.
When I come home from vacation, my bag might not get unpacked for a few days, and I might just lay there.
Yeah, it's all unpacked. We're ready to go. Start the week, and we were probably in bed 10 o'clock.
Well, you guys were just going at it so hard. I thought, now, we were going to do our thing this weekend, right? Because you guys had that momentum. I didn't know there was going to be.
We're never coming back.
Yeah.
Hey, if it wasn't for good friends and a cat stuck in the house, we might have stayed another week.
Well, your good friends could have taken care of the cat, so.
That's right. No, it's good to be home. It's always fun to be away, but I was glad to sleep in my own bed.
Yeah. How you feeling?
Good. I feel real good in the mornings, and afternoon is usually a little less well, but that's all right.
Okay.
You need a little cat nap?
Yep. I start cardio rehab on Tuesday, so we'll see how it goes.
What is cardio rehab? Is that a bunch of aerobic exercises?
I have no idea, but they just said show up, I think 9:30 at the hospital, and they'll hook me up and do a bunch of stuff. So, I've been asked that question a couple of times. I don't know. So, I figure it's not going to change if I know too much about it. So I'll just show up.
Well, they tell you to show up in a tracksuit. You might have to.
Yeah.
Adjust.
Yeah.
Did you get a lot of sun? You got a tan? Do you even tan?
Yeah. I got tanned up, not burnt. I didn't burn. So it was beach most mornings. And then a couple of those, I didn't go back after lunch. I just kind of stayed up at the place two or three times, I think. So it was fun. It was nice and relaxing. And after I got chastised several times for, I'm not supposed to do much, so I'd help take stuff down to the beach and back. And after I got chastised a couple of times, I just said, "All right, fan me and bring me grapes."
Right. That's right. I shall lean fully into this. Absolutely.
And they're like, "We're not going to do that. Just stay out of the way. Go off in a corner somewhere."
Pretty much, just sit here until we tell you to move. That was good. We had a great time. My family's wonderful. They took care of me.
So we were, ahead of this procedure. The debate was if the doctor required an overnight stay, which he had originally planned, if there were no beds due to the COVID, then I would have to be postponed. And I made a very impassioned plea to do everything within our power to not postpone, because who knows when that I thought COVID would be over in about a month, and here we are a year and a half later. So so they called me Friday and confirmed that we will be doing Wednesday as a day surgery beginning at 5 a.m. So
day surgery.
That's surgery. Tough. I'm ready.
Yeah, it's nice to be the first one in, though.
It is. I asked the lady, I asked the coordinator, I said, may I ask you a question? Sure. I said, is my doctor a morning guy? I said, I don't need a guy that needs 5 cups of coffee and doesn't really get going until 10 o'clock. I need him to come in with a game right out of the chute. So
and she goes, he's better at the first one. He's great, and then he's like Jeff. He slowly gets a little more tired and stuff throughout the day. You don't want to be the 17th.
Right.
He's changed that day.
Right.
That's right.
You hope he goes to bed on time, and all those kind of things. So yeah, Lord willing. I mean, that's the.
Well, at least it's a Wednesday, so it's not like a Monday, or he's not coming off the bender or anything like that. He should be all ready to.
Yeah.
Ready to roll.
He should be feeling pretty good.
He didn't just get in from Burning Man or something.
Yeah, he didn't stay up late to watch Monday Night Football or anything. Tuesday there's nothing going on.
Now,
so hey, so that's day surgery though. So we'll keep an eye on things on Wednesday, which is awesome. But I guess we'll check with you to see if you or Sharon need anything on. That day.
Think now it's my educated guess. I think I'll be home somewhere between like 3 and 6. So we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
You boys watch the Field of Dreams game?
Oh, heck yeah.
I teared up a little bit.
Yeah, I couldn't watch it, but I got to see highlights on my phone because there was no service or cable or nothing where we're at. So, but yeah, we got to see the stuff on the internet. That was awesome.
I mean, when they got to the end and he hits that 2-run homer to win the game for the White Sox, and it goes in the corn, and I'm like, they literally could not have scripted this any better. It was amazing.
Yeah. It was so cool.
They're already committing to another one, and there's a part of me that goes, you can't. I don't know if you can re-get that. I mean, that was.
But you know how hockey does the Winter Classic? Yeah. They'll play it. Like, I like the fact if they move it around or whatever, I'd be fine if they play an outdoors game. Now, one thing I wish they'd done was just go with the in-game announcer, play-by-play or whatever, because I got a little tired of Joe Buck. It got to be a bit much. So I was like, man, let's make it all. We got the old timey where they're having to literally change the. Just turn on the mics. Let us hear the sounds of the game. Let's hear the guy in the booth, who's announcing it, the in-game park announcer, and that's it. Let's make it old school.
Yep. Get even fly Chuck Morgan down if they need to.
Yeah, there you go. The Texas Hall of Fame or Chuck Morgan.
Yes.
Him and Beltre just got put in, I think, yesterday.
Yeah. So it was great baseball.
It really was. That was really something, and
you see the meme going around. You see the meme going around that next year play on Sandlot.
Absolutely, I love that.
They said it was the highest rated regular season baseball game in 16 years.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
You just got to think. I mean, you figure. I don't know what the last one was, but I'm sure. I mean, there had to have been an opening day Yankees Red Sox game or something that's super high rated. You know what I mean? There's got to be an open. I would assume that would be the next highest regular season game would be some kind of opening day game or something. But yeah, they killed it, man. It was great.
And it was simple enough. They made it work for them, and
Caleb and I were talking about it how. There's other sports that are more that you might say are more entertaining on a game by game basis, like football and basketball, faster paced, all that. But because there's so much to baseball, it's hard to there was so much poetry to that game. It's all because you play 162 games, because you do all that traveling, because it's this slow toll and it's all about consistency and those kinds of things. There's no way that you could get a game from the NBA or the NFL or something like that that would have that same kind of feel as that game. It's just a whole different game. So if you like, I mean, I can understand people that don't like baseball, but if you like baseball, I mean, there's nothing as like romantic and poetic in the sports world as baseball.
Right. Yeah.
Well, and just in a time in our nation where it would probably do us all well to get back to a little simplicity and the way things used to be. That took us back, and it was when I was sitting there, I thought, surely those guys are going to walk in out of that corn, and that was pretty good.
That took you back to when you were a kid and you're just turning on the radio in the living room, listening to Vince Scully.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And I enjoyed seeing that sense of awe even on the players' faces. I mean, can you imagine getting to be, because there's only one first time,
the greatest feeling's got to be hitting a home run into the corn. That has got to be just the best feeling. And Timmy, I think it was Tim Anderson that hit the walk-off homer. That is probably that feeling to hit that walk-off home run into the corn must have just been like, I don't know if we'll ever feel that kind of. I mean, that must have just been amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, sure that there's home runs you would pick over that, like to win Game 7 of the World Series. I'm sure there's some spots, but in a regular season game, that's probably would top all of them. Speaking of,
storybook.
Yeah. Do you see the Diamondbacks pitcher who made his first start and pitched a no-hitter? Not to make this the baseball hour, but
well,
how crazy is that? He pitched a few in relief appearances, but it was like his first start, fourth appearance. He goes up there, throws a no-hitter. It's all downhill from there.
All downhill. He's only got 6 to go to tie the great Nolan Ryan. Right? 7, right?
Yeah. Nolan's got 7. 7. He got 6 on Robin Ventura alone.
Oh, I love that picture. That and Rugi. I will always share Rugi's punch too.
That was the punch heard around the world and the one that stuffed his bank account.
Yeah.
So,
we paid for that one.
Yeah, we did. That was
you'll watch the Cowboys preseason game. Get you a little Garrett Gilbert and stuff. I watched the first. I watched the first half just to, it's the Cowboys. I'll turn it on.
Yep. No.
When was that? Thursday night?
No, it was
Friday, Saturday.
Like it was either last night or the night before at like 9. I think it was the last night at 9.
Oh, no, I missed it. I don't know. Time has become kind of relative. So, but anyway.
Well, it's 9/11, so it looks like I got to roll.
All right. We'll see you in a minute.
See you in a minute.
Well, Jeffrey, I was thinking about this morning and what I would want to say, and I decided I was going to kind of share some thoughts from a perspective that, Lord willing, is going to change in a few days. And so I've entitled today's talk, Lessons Learned from the Limp.
Okay. All
right.
That's good.
You're welcome to kind of hang out with me because I think, some of these you can speak to, given your recent events as well. For those who may not know, Lord willing, Wednesday morning, I'm going to experience for the first time a full hip replacement. My life's going to be changing, they say, and much for the better, they say. But in leading up to these events, I think I've had some life lessons and some reconsiderations on life lessons, and I thought we'd just kind of throw those out there and just if it helps someone, then great. If not, then it's just a middle-aged guy reflecting. So
yeah, sounds good.
So I kind of divided it into two sections. The first one was, for those of you who may not know the story, when I was 11 years old in the spring of 77, I was involved in a car accident that broke my left femur. And that was kind of the genesis of where Wednesday comes from. And in that car accident, I broke my leg and other serious injuries. But there were 4 people involved in the accident, and 2 of us didn't survive. I always joke that I was one of the survivors, and people don't usually get that, because I wouldn't be talking to you if I wasn't one of the survivors. But just the reminder of the appreciation of survival from that event. Jeff, I'm regularly reminded, and unfortunately life reminds us, that not everyone gets the privilege of growing older. And it comes with its challenges, but not everyone gets the privilege. And when I started, I've always wrestled with discomfort to some degree or another. But over the last 3.5, 4 years, there's been a slow, steady increase or decline, whichever way you want to look at it. And it just, it was just something that comes with getting older. And when we are reminded of our humanity and the fact that no one promised you and I to be 55, 56. Now, you're 55, right?
I'll be 55 next month.
Okay, because I just turned 56. Mm-hmm. So, but no one ever wrote us a contract saying that you were going to get that. And I don't know about you. I didn't really assume I would. But when you get a chance to look back, you can find some real perspective of appreciation. Now, I was in the accident, and truth being told, outside of God's provision, I don't know how I even remained in the vehicle, much less survived it. But I also can look at a few other occasions in my life after that, that my life could have been shortened, and it was not. And so just the appreciation of being alive, that's a real thing. That really is. If we're not careful, we just take sunrises for granted, and that's all of us. But the perspective that you get when you are reminded that you are not bulletproof. Now, Jeff, you and I both have had that email arrive in our mailbox.
Yeah.
In recent days, that you've been a man of good health, and I've not been. I've not had surgery or anything like that. You've never had surgery, right?
I had knee surgery as when I was like 17, but that was it.
Okay. Yeah.
But nothing major. No health problems at all.
Rolled it along, and then, out of the blue, we're reminded that you're not bulletproof. So, how did your experience recently affect your appreciation for life and those sort of things?
It's a crazy thing, and I know we'll probably touch a little bit on this in the service as you and I get together during the morning service. But there's just a greater appreciation of people and the relationships and the moments that you have, which I don't say that I took for granted. Maybe I just didn't think about as much. And me, I don't get overly emotional. I don't get over spiritualized stuff, but it's a kind of a thought process that says, well, what if,
right. Sure.
Yes, I'm thankful for what didn't happen, in both our lives, but what if, and then, the things I would have missed, the things that not seeing grandchildren,
Mm-hmm.
be silly on the beach, just things like that. And, I can tell you that they're crying and fussing didn't bother me as much.
Yeah.
So,
It really, it's interesting because in recent days, so, you have to do all this pre-op stuff. I've teased Sharon a little bit because, all of our family medical crises have been bore by my bride over the years. And we've never had a runway to it. It's always been an emergency, the car accident and the broken wrist. And so we've never had this walk up to an event. And so during the course of the pre-op checkout, I had a phone call come to me, and they saw something in one of my lungs that they wanted a second look at. And, that had caused me to pause a little bit because I didn't know, was my life about to take a right-hand turn, and so I got to spend a day, and it was only a day, thank the Lord, contemplating the possibilities. And it, I don't know I don't even know how to explain it, but so I was going over to Dallas. I had a ministry appointment, and I was praying, and I said, Lord, I'm not even going to try to explain to you how I feel, because you already know that. But with all the faith that I have, I want to say that whatever you have for me, I receive it. And I knew what that could mean.
mm-hmm.
But I wanted, okay.
We think we have, a lot of time, and all of us are like that, especially men. And one of the quotes, I shared this during a devotional, actually it was on July 31st, but I'm reading Kingdom Men Rising. It's a Tony Evans book, but one of his quotes or challenges, sort of resonated, and I'll read it here again. It says, "Men, are you content, or men, women, whoever, are you content with being like the flicker of a candle under the noonday sun, unnoticed, leaving no impact, making no mark on a world that desperately needs kingdom-minded men?" So the question is, we think we have all the time in the world, but I would encourage us all to live. We always hear this, live each day as it's your last, and you'll be right one day, right? But what kind of impact are you leaving, or what kind of fingerprints are you leaving? And that's what I want more of. That's what I want to do. Not that I want to be known for anything. I don't want to be known for anything at all. But what I want to have is an impact in the lives of those that God has, blessed me to be a part of.
Right.
In my world, if you will. Right here in Greenville, Texas, right here in my family, right here in ALF, wherever. So, and that was the scariest thing, is that, not really scary, but, God, I want more. I want to do more of that.
Right.
I don't want to go back and, change my work habits or change my, something like that. I just want to do more of the things that you want me to go do.
Right.
So, hopefully make that impact. But
and so there's this reflectiveness on the past, and then there's the acceptance and the gratitude for what life isn't. I'm not afraid of this thing. I mean, I'm really not, and I'm just at this point, I'm just ready to get it over with. But there has to be an acceptance of what is, and a gratitude for what that is not. And you think about life, and you think about the inconvenience or the pain or whatever. And for me, I'm thankful. I'm reminded the thankfulness for what it's not, because as I look back, not only could I not have survived the accident, but the fact that they were able to put my leg back together in a fashion in which it worked. I've teased my leg that, why would you treat me like this? I've taken you all around the world. You've seen some great stuff. I mean, I haven't always treated you the nicest, but and that's really, I think, a foundation that all of us want to try and need to find is an attitude of gratitude towards what our lives are not. Our culture is a consumer culture. Our economy is a consumer economy. And the goal of the consumer economy is to keep you persistently and consistently discontent. That's the only way they get the money out of our pockets, is you need this, you need that, you're not quite what you could be. But in the Christian life, we truly can find a contentment and an appreciation for what we have. And that doesn't mean, that obviously doesn't mean there's not room for things and newer things and those things. But it's like joy and happiness. Happiness is temporal, based on conditions. Joy is a place of the heart. And gratitude is that too. And, the gratitude for what our lives are and what they are not, and God's provision, because really gratitude is kind of the flip side of the coin of God's provision for us. And, looking back at your recent events, the provision that God had for you is miraculous. I mean, it really is. I had a chance to be with Brother Bobby Tanner the other day, and he, God's provision for him is miraculous. Mm-hmm. And he said, Jimmy, he says, I just don't really remember anything. And I said, well, buddy, I said, clap your hands and thank God, because there's not a whole lot you would want to remember.
Yeah. It probably wasn't that enjoyable.
No. I told him, I said, listen, but God's provision is incredible. And our perspective on what God's provision is for us, and, with you and the timing and the location and all those things is incredible. And for me, God's provision of, the fact they can do something about the way my leg feels, the fact that it's accessible to me, and God has provided, what it takes to step through that door. And, when you start to see those things, it's a humbling thing.
So is it a whole, when they replace the hip, is it one side, is it that one socket?
Yeah. So, basically what they do, and I'll keep this G, is so you have your femur bone and then your hip socket ball. Mm-hmm. So they'll actually go in and remove the ball, and then they will, and so what they're going to replace it with is, it's basically a titanium shunt with a metal ball on the top of it. And the shunt goes into the femur, and then over on the hip side, or on the pelvis side, they'll go in and, in my mind, I see a Dremel tool, Dremel out, all of the arthritic damage, and put in a titanium cup plate, mm-hmm. where that new ball will sit inside that cup, and away you go. So the major part of it is, your body strengthening to keep it in place, because it's not really connected. Your body holds it in place. So, and it really is. I say this all the time, and I just want to encourage people, if you are not mesmerized by the miracle of modern medicine, ask yourself this question: who was the first person Jeff, they did a heart catheterization on you. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Somewhere, someone had to be the first one.
Right.
And unfortunately, it's at least 50-50 that was an emergency. But they go, listen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put this tube inside your body, and then we're going to go into your heart. And we're going to do this and do that. But now, you are actually conscious.
Whole time.
While they're doing this. Someone asked me the other day, well, are you going to be conscious while they're doing it? I said, I don't think so.
You hope not.
I don't. I would love to watch it. I just don't know if I will want to be awake for it. So no.
In my silly mind, I see the old wishbone wings, and they're just going to pop one out. And put
yes. Yes.
Right.
Well, okay. So think about this, Jeff. There will be a period of time in which my left leg is no longer physically by skeleton attached to me.
I know.
And I don't know. So
set that leg aside.
Yeah, just hey, can someone hold on to this thing a second? But one of the challenges that we face in our culture is the more science we understand, if we're not careful, the less we want to revere God. Well, the more we understand, the less we need God. Well, see, I'm the exact opposite. The more I understand, the more God seems necessity. And I know you had a conversation during your procedure about what needs to take place in the human heart for it to beat just a single time, much less I don't even know, numbers over the course of our lifetime. And, the ability to change out almost like NASCAR, this human body part is miraculous to me.
What's going to be interesting is, I don't know how long the rehab will be, but I'm sure it'll be, months or a few months. But, just, having you explain the way you feel now compared to after, post surgery.
Well, I have a dear friend of mine, and he just had one like 3 weeks ago. The craziest thing, it's like buying a new car. When you buy a new car, you tend to see all the cars that are the same model of yours.
Mm-hmm.
You notice them more. It's like a new hip. I didn't know I knew anyone who had ever had a hip replacement. And now it's like they're giving them away like coupons to Taco Bueno. And so my buddy just had one. His right leg, because I teased him, maybe we could get a 2-for-1, would break, both use the set. And he says, Jimmy, the strangest thing is you're going to go in and, they're going to prep you and you're going to have all of the pain and discomfort that you've grown accustomed to. And then you're going to go asleep. And when you wake up, all of that is gone. And there's a new discomfort, there's a new pain, but it's the post-operative. He said it and I threatened him. I said, if you're overselling this, I'm going to find you. But I'm really kind of focusing in, and I've even thought about it. Preachers always have illustrations. Everything's an illustration. If you don't want it to be an illustration, you better not let me see it. But in my mind, I think that's got to be kind of what like grace is like, is you go in with all that you are and all that you're accustomed to and all that you know. And in a moment, you're everything that's brand new. And so it's going to be pretty incredible. And
I can't wait to get the report, because I hope you do wake up and you're out of pain, because I know that you don't express it a lot, but I know you're literally walking in pain every time, sitting in pain too.
One of the things, it just has worn me down. I was as prepared as I thought I could be to live, the rest of my life with this. And, you do what you have to do. But now, the doctor said that, within 2 years I'd be in a wheelchair if we left it unattended. I think that runway's a lot shorter because, recently, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, and I'll tell you what, it has really made me more empathetic for the folks who do live with a chronic discomfort, because it doesn't have to be immobilizing, but it just rubs everything about your life. And my prayer is I just don't want to be crotchety about it. I mean, I don't want to, I'm so, and that's part of it is, I look back and I think, where I am, what I have, all these things. And I really want to be thankful for that. And I just want to do what I can do, and, but it's going to be an exciting thing. I'm happy and optimistic,
Well, it's a necessity too. So you can, one, feel better, but two, continue to, do the things and go the places that God wants you to do. He just hasn't called you to be in that office and in our pulpit, right? So,
yeah.
And I know it's difficult for you to get around and go visit, and
well,
you have a heart for missions as well. So, all that is difficult.
The day that my buddy John was in the hospital, and I wanted to go see him, and I knew he would enjoy a visit. I thought, I just don't think I can walk from the back parking lot. That was a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah.
Because when let's just say the Lord had to convince me of what I am now convinced of. So,
well, it's a good thing. So,
yeah.
I'm going to bow out and get ready to
Yes.
join you up there in a few minutes. And it's good to be back home. So I will see you in a few minutes. I'll let you close it out. All right.
Thank you. Hey, Jason, good to see you. Thanks for being here. I guess if I were going to kind of start to put a bow around this rambling this morning, it would be just to invite you, in the midst of whatever may be going on, your discomfort, your uncertainties, your fears, to look to the Lord and to find that place of appreciation for what it is not. Like I said, for me, just to be alive is a place where I can begin to have an optimism and a thankfulness. And as that ever expands out, also, Jeff did touch on this, and I want to reiterate this to you. I am not, like I said, I'm not afraid of this thing. I'm perfectly confident it'll go the way it's supposed to go. However, I also know that things happen. And in my preparation for Wednesday, I've been intentional in having conversations with people, because I want to make sure that I have said the things that I want to make sure were said. And it's a little uncomfortable. It's a little sappy. and some, might say it's a little morbid, but no. The old adage, live every day as if it's your last, and one day you'll be right. There is a real wisdom in that, because we just don't know. And it keeps our life in a proper perspective. It keeps our relationships in a proper balance. I've taken the opportunity to speak to my children and my son-in-law and others, one-on-one, and just express to them what I want them to know that they know, just in case we don't know, right? Now, I like to be able to say, and I'm fairly confident in this, I'm not trying to catch up for years and years of neglect in these relationships, but just you want to make sure you're ready. And I'm so thankful for everything that God has in my life. Just the wonderful people and the generosity and the compassion. One of the challenges, I've got to order a new O-ring, because this thing's had it. Anyway, the generosity of people, and let me encourage you with this also, because we're just gonna hold on, just take care of you like that. Sometimes when you are accustomed to being the minister, it's difficult to receive the ministry. And I've said it before, is I sometimes wrestle with, I've got my thing, but I don't want to add my thing to other people's thing, because they've got their things. Now, my thing's important to me, but but a wise man has once told me that there comes a time in life when you need to receive the ministry for the sake of the ministers. One of the ways that God blesses people is their ability to be a part of his provision. And that's what so many have been and are being, and I know in the future will be. They are a part of God's provision for me and for my bride and for this situation. And a wise man's taught me years and years ago that to always receive a gift in the spirit in which it's given, because that's where the blessing lies in the giver. And so don't be afraid to be the recipient. I'm at a little bit of a loss for words right here, but the Lord teaches us through things. And I guess the summation would be, the Lord has taught me some things over these last months, and I'm thankful for them, and I want to retain them, and I want to share them. That was part of my goal here. I don't know if I accomplished my goal, but I just want to say thanks to the Lord, and I'll use this opportunity to speak to you guys, a little smaller group. I just love you, and I appreciate you, and I just want you to trust in the Lord with wherever you are, whatever you're going through. Just trust in the Lord, because he is trustworthy. And if there comes a day that you hear that I've stepped into glory, know this beyond a shadow of a doubt, that I am a satisfied customer of the Lord Jesus Christ. I have had exceedingly and abundantly more than any man could ever deserve, and heaven too. But But after beyond that, Caleb, thank you. And I can't wait to give you a bionic hug. And I might give you a bionic kick. I don't know. But it is a blessing. There was a politician that said this years ago. The politics I don't agree with, but the statement I can. It really does take a village sometimes. And I'm thankful to be a part of God's village, and most assuredly thankful to be a part of this village we call the Little ALF. It's one of my favorite villages, if not the, So, well, I love you guys, and I hope, if you can, that you might come and join us in person here in a few minutes. And if you can't, I hope that you will take care of everything that you need to take care of. Come back and join us with Digital Church. We've got kind of a special service today, a little something different, and looking forward to it. You'll enjoy it. I'm absolutely positive. And take the opportunity to reach out and invite someone to come to church with you. Share the church service. And whether you're on the Facebook side or the YouTube side, like the YouTube or share the Facebook. And be sure and drop us a comment. Let us know that you're there. And that'll mean a lot to us. I love you, and I thank you so much, as always, for your time. Thank you for listening to me as I rattled through thoughts, and I hope that it's an encouragement to you. I love you, and I will see you soon.